What's up, everybody? Welcome into another Big Man on Betting live stream. What's up? What's up? What's up? Hope you're all having a great night. Usually do this on Wednesdays, but I thought tonight a good night to do it. Not a real deep card. The NFL, we've got some lines out for that. Going to bring on Donnie. We're going to talk a little NFL betting. I know it's a basketball betting live stream, but with the small card tonight, I figured why not? I am going to tell you, I want to check here on what we have here. Looks like DeJuan Clayton's going to play for Coppin State as far as I've seen with some of the warm-ups and that kind of thing. So I'm going to get on Coppin here, minus 9.5. I'm going to bet it small. Nothing crazy. I always kind of keep live wagering small or late wagering small. But I hit a free pick on Winthrop earlier, so I'm going to play Coppin here. I think they take care of business. I'm going to lay the 9.5. This game's about to tip off. So, yeah, check in, say hello. We're going to talk. So if you have some questions, you want to ask about something, you're welcome to reach out. Let me get my TV on here. I should probably did that before I got started tonight. Another week, another dollar here. Hopefully you all listened to the show today. I had a great guest, Mike Randall. What game do I want to watch? Let's see here. I guess I will throw on a little NBA. Let's see what we got going on. What's up, Barack? William Shepard, what's going on? Thoughts on Colin Sexton? I haven't seen his start to the season. I think the Cavs have played well, though, which is good. Nice to see they're kind of off to a nice start. I thought they would be pretty poor this year. Obviously, all things considered, I think they still will be. But let's get Mavs Rockets on the screen here. This is a tough game. Obviously we didn't know if Harden or Doncic was going to play up until about an hour ago. I'm going to kind of look here and see what we like with maybe a live opportunity in this game. If you can retweet the show here on Twitter. What is going on with my TV right now? If you have any college questions or any questions overall, feel free to reach out. So, yeah, if you didn't see, I played Coppin State here. So if you're able to get on it live, you're welcome to it. I figured we'd get on right before we started here. What the fuck is going on here? It's fucking dickhead app. I gotta get the league pass up. That's what I gotta get up. What is fucking going on with this TV? Why is it so fucking slow tonight? Fucking bitch. Ay. Let me put on Knicks Hawks. That should be fun. It's just going to be the death of me. All right, I got Knicks Hawks on. This is a shitty card tonight, to be really honest. Look at that. Knicks up 31-29. Oh, shit. What questions do we have before we get our guest in here? Talk a little bit. Drake rolling again. It seems like Drake's always going to cover. As I said, look, today's line, you had see, and you know what's crazy about Drake? The whole world bets it, and it comes in like every time. People are betting Drake. They see, 10-0. My fault. 31-29 with the Knicks. Everyone bets Drake, and it still goes way over. It's crazy. It's just it's a flamer right now. And again, there's still a whole nother half of basketball, but this team's really impressive, man. 41 at the half. That's That's pretty incredible. You look at Drake though. Next 2 games, got Loyola, Illinois. That could be the. Those are going to be the tough ones for them. That's the toughest team in that conference. Thoughts on Oklahoma State, West Virginia? You must not have listened to the pod. Listen, man, you got to start listening to the show. All right, we talked about that on the pod. My guest liked Oklahoma State. I lean that way as well. If anyone has any weight loss questions, I know someone asked me I should do a scope about it, but if you have any questions, you're welcome to ask. I'll gladly answer. Down 102 pounds as of today, so very happy. And yes, if you know me, I like chapstick, so I make sure I put plenty on. Thank you. Scott Letty says he likes the Warriors +2. I like the over, but it's kind of gotten really high. Probably look to bet it live. I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to see what I can get on a live line for the Hawks. What do we got here? Knicks usually play well in the first half and then just fall apart in the second half. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Hawks -5.5 live. I'm taking the Hawks -5.5 live. Oh, just move to 6.5. I'll take 6.5. All right, I'm in on that. Hawks -6.5. Pretty good start, but this is usually what the Knicks always do. So I'm willing to believe it. They usually always play well in the first half and then just disappear. Good luck, Taylor. Appreciate that. Thanks, bro. Let me add to this. Basically betting it at the starting number. I think the number closed 7, so we're pretty much getting it right where we need to. Jeff Zern says Rico blocked you for no reason. Sorry to hear that, man. Nice back-to-back wins for Siena. Yeah, they were good today. I had the over today. I was disappointed with the second half, but I had the over yesterday, so 1-1. Somebody says, I think the Knicks are surprisingly good this year. Why is that? Oh, they're 3-3. They're surprisingly good. I'm not really sure what you mean by that. I mean, they beat the Pacers, but the Pacers beat them like the first game of the season. They got killed by the Raptors. They got killed by the Sixers. They didn't play well against the Bucks, but I don't think that was just one of those random games. Bucks had those a lot last year. Remember that game? Those games in the bubble. They had these like random games where they just got beat up. Remember the Nets game? I think it was the first game. Somebody's asking, do I feel strong about the Sixers? Listen, I don't really. I mean, we're 4 or 5 games into the season. I don't really think. I mean, no, I don't think. I'm not going to really change my tune on the Sixers, to be real honest. Let's bring Donnie in here. Let's get him on the show here. We'll bullshit, talk a little bit. If you guys have any questions, you're welcome to ask. Yeah, I don't have much on Indiana, Maryland. Very little interest in that game. Let's go, Hawks. Seems like a lot of you guys don't listen to the show. That's disappointing. I thought a lot of you listened. I'm not. You gotta listen to the show, guys. I already talked about West Virginia as well. I'm not playing the game. The only game I'm on right now is Coppin -9.5, and I bet it right as it started, just because I heard that. I heard they got a player back. All right, let's bring Donnie on. Hey, what's up, Donnie?
Yo, what's good, brother?
What's up, man?
What's good out there, man?
You ready for the NFL playoffs, dude?
I am ready for the NFL playoffs. See
what a shit. So I know you loved what happened last night with the Eagles. That was fun, wasn't it?
Hold on real quick. Let me just dip out of here for a second.
Hello, issue. All right. Guess he's having a sound issue. Back out again. Pretty amazing how the Knicks compete with some of these players. I mean, it's amazing. Man, Atlanta is terrible on defense. Holy shit. You good?
I'm good.
What's up, man?
What's going on, man? What do we got? A little Monday night basketball?
Yeah, just hanging out. Yeah, just hanging out, seeing what's up. Seems like anytime I live bet, the team just immediately goes on these runs where they just can't score. How'd you like the so you were on the same page with me as we loved what the Eagles were doing last night.
Love it. Fantastic. And if the more I just see the Rockheads, and me and you were cut from the same cloth, where I love on Monday morning when I know something went the right way and I listen to Philadelphia Sports Talk Radio, and just I used to be able to say man, we're really good sports fans, but the squeaky, the idiots that call in don't represent it. And they're the same idiots that will be on draft night. Oh my God, we didn't trade up with Jamar Chase. And you say, no, you didn't have to if you lost the game, right? Come on.
Yeah, I actually heard someone say today that is it really that big a difference between the 9th and 6th pick?
God,
and it's
stupid.
Yeah. Do you know what team you're dealing with here? But
I mean, just a low level. And again, I had even a couple people last night, I thought you were, it's not about that. It's about integrity of the game. I'm saying we don't live in Candyland and Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny. It's a business. It's better to draft 6th and 9th. And they did that, little draft chart today. The Eagles losing last night was the equivalent of a free second-round draft pick for the Eagles. But those same people, and also, Jeff, this one as well, he can't look them in the eyes again. Doug Peterson been looking these motherfuckers in the fucking eye for an entire year, and they don't win shit. So last night they can't?
It's so funny that people
it gets me fired up, man.
You heard that, and you heard stupid shit the league should do something about this. It's I mean, and then it's you have Giants players whining about it. It's
they went. We're 1-8 to start the season. You could just kick the Giants out for the entire year because they were horrendous. I remember watching horrendous games with Colt McCoy at quarterback. Looked like they were tanking to me.
Yep, you lost. You lost the game against the Eagles that you played. You lost 3 of the last 4 games, and you're whining because another team who hates you and is your rival can't win. It's we
weren't cracking on the Giants when they went down and didn't even show up against the freaking Ravens, right? But that wasn't any issue there.
Right.
That guy's got one more year in New York, maybe? If that. They'll go 6 and 10 again.
I loved his.
He'll be talking about doing push-ups and stuff.
Matt Bailey. But if the Eagles are in the Giants situation, you guys would likely be doing the same. Yeah, but they weren't. If Kim Kardashian was on my bed right now, I'd probably have sex with her, but she's not. So, I mean, I don't
Imagine
really know
relying. And again, this would be coming from, if I was a Giants guy, right? I don't know. If I won 11 games and wasn't going to get in the playoffs because it came down to the last day, like, damn, that's kind of a bad break. But the Giants are horrendous and they're upset because they won 6 games and didn't make the playoffs. Oh my God, it's the greatest year ever.
In the worst division in the history.
The worst division in the history of football. They barely scraped to get the 6 wins by beating a trash Giants team on like the last play of the game. And their players are like, I don't understand what's going on out here.
This was also a good one last night. Hurts, why did they take him out?
Yeah.
Well, because he wasn't playing good. Like,
yeah, you saw my tweet, right? Quarterback rating of 25, passing rating of 25. Like, Jeff, he was 17 of 18 for 425 and 4 scores. You can't pull him out. And anybody watch the game? Come on, man. And by the way, what about the narrative on this, Jeff? So I'm led to believe it would have been better if we started Sudfeld and didn't play Jalen Hurts at all. That was okay for the narrative? What are we talking about here?
Well, first of all, if you lived around here, you would have known that the Eagles said before the game that they were going to play Sudfeld.
Correct.
Like, they didn't give a shit about the game. It was pretty obvious. And let me ask you, Donnie, do you really believe if it was not Philadelphia, anyone would have gave a fuck?
Nobody would have cared. If it wasn't on at night, like Schwartz, I was like Jeff Schwartz, which I usually don't really care too much about a lot of other people's statements, but he was spot on. He was spot on. Like,
I didn't hear it. He blocked me, so I don't know what he said.
Yeah, no, he was actually right on. Like, nobody would have cared if this game was at 1:00, but since it was 8:00, everybody got mad. And he was coming back like, oh, he can't look the guys in the locker room straight. And he was basically giving them the business. Like, I don't think you understand how the NFL actually works, where the paycheck, maybe if they stopped giving them paychecks, people would get upset. But he was on point all the way through. And it was like, it was real cute when the Jets were tanking to get the top pick, but now all of a sudden one team does it and nobody likes it.
Miami did it last year, didn't they? Or the year before?
Well, Miami basically quit on the season, but they won a couple games down the stretch. But that's not even like the crux of the argument. Like, you could equally say, and I like the one also, like if you would say, well, what about the Steelers? You know, if somebody would have knocked out Cleveland and beat them, you know, another team might have been able to get into the playoffs. Was anybody mad at Pittsburgh yesterday?
No,
Pittsburgh tanked that game. What? Because they came down and scored, almost had a 2-point conversion. That made it okay. They tanked.
Teams tank every year.
What's that?
Teams tank every year.
That's what it's amazing.
I don't know why. It's a thing now because it's Philly. You know, this is a good one.
But the takes are so bad. Like, there was no point. There was no point whatsoever for the Eagles to win that game, and people were upset. Like, how many times during the season, Jeff, where I'm talking like the radio pundits, the fans, like, boy, I really would like to see the Eagles play well and lose. But now all of a sudden when they tried to lose and did the absolute, I was so proud of the organization, how they were like, and I bet you Howie was on the phone in the third quarter going, hey, Doug, now's the time to get this guy out of here. Let's not win this football game. It was perfect. And when we get Jamar Chase or Devontae Smith on draft night, everybody's going to celebrate. But you know what? I don't want to hear from anybody. I'm going to go back and get those Twitters and save them. That like, oh, great pick and Jamar Chase. No, you don't get to have that. You don't get to have that night. You can't cheer for that guy.
No, they'll all be sucking the Eagles off when they do that. Yeah. And then at 9, it's like, see where we would have been if we would have been at 9. Like, think about last year.
He should have traded up, Jeff.
Think about last year. If they have a few picks ahead of the Cowboys, maybe they take.
No, if we landed where the Cowboys were, which if we would have lost, we probably would have. We would have had CeeDee Lamb, and he probably would have stunk because the Eagles can't. The fucking
Sixers did this for years. They'd make the playoffs and then get the 16th pick every year, and it's like, oh, let's go to the playoffs and lose. Like, Eagles weren't going to win, and like. They didn't tank to not make the playoffs, but they weren't good enough to. I don't care about them trying hard in the last game. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
How many people are going to respect him after this? It's
and also even some of the ESPN guys, like you let Jalen Hurts win that game and you go into the offseason, everybody's happy. I'm like, what world do we live in that a meaningless game, you're heading into the offseason feeling good about yourself? How about you would have beat Dallas the week before and feel good about yourself and then beat Washington? How about that?
How upset is this guy? Matt Bailey, definitely a Giant fan. He's so upset. He's trying to talk about the Steelers. Look, either way.
Wait. The Steelers should have played all their starters because the Bills lost. They would have got the 2 seed. That game was extremely meaningful for the Steelers, and they tanked. How about that?
Well, he forgot that little.
Yeah, he forgot that little caveat. Yep.
Grant Schilling. That's not a made-up name either. How many units are you up on this basketball season? I am 32 and 32. I am actually down a unit. But you're right. I probably am not good at college basketball handicapping. So why are you here?
Yeah.
But you are here. So thanks for watching. I guess that's the thing now. I'm finally losing. So it's, Big Man stinks. Hey, you know what's great, though? This is what's great. We got many months left. And I know more about basketball than you do. So you're going to listen to me. So it's all good.
The CBB run. The Steelers. Yeah, look, Steelers got a big game this weekend, too. I love it, man. The playoffs are awesome this week.
Yeah, I want to get into that in a little bit. We got a couple early lines here. As far as, I want to get into what we have early. We even have I think we almost have a double-digit number that Saint game.
Crazy.
How bad is that Bear team, man? Holy shit.
Yeah, no, and I was going on a rant last night, which I've been on all year long, because you know as well as I do, when you look at how ownership is structured, it's like, if you draft the guy a quarterback and you're the GM and you're the coach, you have to make a case for that guy because your job's on the line, because you can't theoretically draft the guy and be like, hey, you know what, he stinks, let's move on, because an ownership would be like, well, hey, you picked him, you stink, we're going to move on. So the fact that they backed into the playoffs so horribly, they're going to get bounced this week. And then you have Matt Nagy and Pace, the GM over there, going, hey, if we give this guy $20 million, we're safe for the next couple of years. What a horrible organization the Chicago Bears are from top to bottom. And I always, me, tweeting out all the time. Look, when your owner is a 98-year-old woman and she's in charge, come on, man. Come on.
Yeah, she don't care.
Come on.
She's just worried about not dying.
Exactly. Like, hey, my grandkid.
Yes. This guy keeps asking about Wyoming Fresno. Listen, man, I didn't bet that game, bro. I don't know how to bet those back-to-backs with a day off. I have no idea. I would lean Wyoming, but I didn't play it. Sorry. All right. Let's just quickly here. I want to take a look at these games. I'll tell you this. How do you not take the Washington football team?
You know what's funny about that? Because I'm a team total guy. Like, I just think it's a lot easier just to pick one side of the football and hammer it away. Yeah. And we think a lot alike, because when I look at games, I don't think like, oh man, Buffalo's so good on offense, I got to take them. Like, I would be looking at Indianapolis's team total the same way, Jeff. Like, I hate Washington. They are so bad. But I look at this game and I say the only thing that gives Tom Brady issues is a strong defensive line that doesn't have to blitz, push the pocket, and get in his face. They can actually do that. They really can. So
yeah,
there's some credence to that big line.
People are asking about West Virginia tonight. Listen, I think there's a lot of issues with this team. You lose Shebue, he leaves the team just out of nowhere. They got out rebounded the other night. And it's one of those games, 1.5 on the road. I would probably be on Oklahoma State. Again, the card's not great tonight. I didn't play it. This guy says, "What do you want us to ask you?" What? I don't want you to ask me anything. You could ask whatever.
You asked that. What'd you ask him to get questions in there? And he's getting angry at
I don't think I remember asking him to tell me anything. All right. Colts Bills lean over, but
yeah, you would have to
like a college offense right now.
They're unbelievable. Like, look at their last month and a half of games. Like, it's like if they don't get 35 points, it's like, what's wrong? And I was so impressed, like, by the fact that they really didn't need that game. You saw a week long, maybe starters, maybe not, and they just blew the doors off that Dolphins team. Dropped 50+ on them. So impressive. I don't think they're gonna. I love Frank Reich. I love the Colts. I love the way they play, but I think you're just stepping up in weight class in this one with the Buffalo Bills. They're headed on a collision course to try to take out Kansas City. But if there's, the AFC playoffs are so deep 1 through 7. I mean, you're not getting a week off or a game off in any fashion. So imagine that. Like, you get the 2 seed, you're going to be home, you're feeling good, and you get Frank Reich and the Colts coming in there. This is an amazing shot here, man.
Josh Allen is a prime example of why you don't give up on a inconsistent quarterback early. And there's a certain inconsistent quarterback in this town that has made mistakes. He hasn't been good. He's had flashes of brilliance. Mm-hmm. And you look at Josh Allen. Let me ask you, Donnie, what was the main difference between this offense this year, personnel-wise, and last year?
Yep. The number one, I know you're going with Stephon Diggs, just to say, get me a guy that could just make a play on the football and is wide open all the time,
And
but also, go ahead.
Related to the Eagles,
Yeah.
Donovan McNabb never had a weapon.
Nope.
Finally give him a weapon. What do? Go to the Super Bowl.
Has his best year of his career.
Yeah, I mean, at what point is this team going to wake up and get the fucking kid some weapons?
Yep. You better hope it's coming this year, but also – when you looked at Carson Wentz, who was really good in 2016 as a rookie, like even saw yesterday, what was it? Herbert broke Carson Wentz's rookie record of pass completions. He looks amazing at quarterback. But when you factor back to the Eagles, 16 and 17, do you know who that offensive coordinator was? That was Frank Reich, just dialing up everything beautifully. Game plan was amazing. DeFilippo was the quarterback coach. Now you're a couple years away from it. And you're saying, like, why is Carson Wentz struggling? Get him back with Frank Reich. And then also, when you take a look at the Buffalo Bills, Brian Daboll is the number one coach for me if I'm an organization right now in the NFL. You want to tell me he takes over with Josh Allen, who's all the arm strength in the world, inconsistent, not reading defense, runs too much. He looks like a combination of like Cam Newton and Joe Montana this year. Mm-hmm. That guy is amazing. And it all stems from get a really good coach in there to coach him. And, give him some weapons to work with. It usually works out.
It really has, and it's really been terrific. They look like a college offense right now. Drop it 50 and 40 and just rolling. Thank you for watching Crypto Capper. Yes. Breaking news, Bobby Shmurda will be released from prison in February. How about that?
Has he got an album waiting for him?
I would imagine.
Album deal?
He's an interesting guy, man. He took longer prison time, Donnie, so his best friend wouldn't get like a super long sentence. He's a stand-up character, man. I'm looking forward to having Bobby around. He was a favorite of mine when he was popular. But breaking news. All right, next, just a couple more here. I'm going to go over every game, but Bears Saints. I mean, am I wrong to think that this is 27-10? I mean, the Bears.
No, it's going to be more high scoring because the one thing is the Chicago Bears can do some things against the New Orleans Saints to put up some points, but I don't put a lot of credence. Like, I like the Bears defense, but Jeff, the Bears defense is really good against bad other teams. You're talking about a team that might have every weapon back at home, perfect conditions in the dome. Who's to say that, like, even when you look at the Green Bay game, like, they crushed that Chicago defense. They're lucky they had a couple drop passes. Otherwise, it would be 400 yards passing and 4 touchdowns for Aaron Rodgers in this game. It's going to be hard for the Bears to slow down that team, specifically if they get everybody back like they're supposed to. And Michael Thomas coming back in this game.
Yeah, I mean, you look for large parts of the year, they haven't had their strongest players, and they still are a top offense. I mean, they're really impressive, and the Bears defense
is good too.
Yeah, look like that Bears defense looks like a shell. And what did we see yesterday from the Bears, Donnie? The one thing they did well was run the football.
Yeah,
you're not going to run the football against New Orleans.
And it was funny because you saw the game plan for Chicago. It only worked really because, again, they had that dropped touchdown pass early in the second half, which would have really opened up the offense for the Bears. Like, when you have a franchise quarterback and you're going up against Green Bay, like, their strategy was, hey, Mitch, don't lose us the game. We're going to roll you out of the pocket right, roll you out of the pocket left, throw 5-yard passes to the tight end, see if we can run the foot. I love Montgomery. He's a wonderful running back. Breaks so many tackles. Tough-ass kid. I love him. But you have to open that offense up and throw it deep. The one time they did throw it deep, they actually got a completion down to, like, the 10-yard line, but didn't punch it in. You can't do that against good teams. Like, that works against teams like the Washington football team, right? They can't score. So look, let's not make a mistake and we'll be in the game all the way through. When you're playing the Green Bay Packers of the world, the New Orleans Saints of the world, you can't come in with a game plan that says, let's try to just play keep away and see what we can do. You got to go after them, man. I don't think they could do that with Mitch. So
this comment right here is hilarious. Knicks are on fire right now. Fight for the 18. They're 3-3. They got blown out by the Sixers, by the Raptors. Like,
by the way, I thought we already crowned though, Jeff. After the first game of the season, the Nets had won the title. Is that still true?
Yeah. Well, they're struggling. They're struggling.
I thought it was over.
What's the injury status of Roquan Smith? I don't think
he should be good. I think he actually came into the game on Sunday, hurt his elbow or something like that.
Yeah, it's a playoff game. They'll be fun. How about Bitcoin? Holy shit. Yeah, Bitcoin is on fire. By the way, Donnie, if you bought Bitcoin in March, it was 3,000. It was at 3,000. It's went up tenfold, more than tenfold.
It's amazing.
Over to
what's funny about that? a quick story on Bitcoin
Yeah.
is Bet Online. We can't do it in New Jersey anymore, but was it Bet Online? It was Bet Online, right? No, excuse me. Five dimes. I apologize. Five dimes went offline, and I only had a couple $100 left in there. And like, all right, well, we can't pay out by check. We got to pay by Bitcoin. I never bought Bitcoin, used Bitcoin, did anything with Bitcoin in my life. So I signed up for Coinbase, I think it is.
Yeah.
And it took a couple of days. They sent it to me, and it was all I only had like $430, which isn't enough. But hey, give me my money. You're closing down your book, and we'll see if they open it back up. And I left it in there, and I started seeing some things like Bitcoin. The 430, Jeff, went up, and again, I'm still not. I already sold it. The 430 went up to like $892 after a couple of weeks. I'm like, dude, just give me my free money out of here. I probably should have left it in there, but I don't know anything about Bitcoin or anything.
When was
I was like, give me the money. What's that?
When was this?
This was a couple weeks. I would say probably like a month ago now.
Okay.
But the month when I cashed out, which I think was like October, I didn't look at it. I didn't touch it. I'm like, I'll get it when I do it. And I just see some people tweet like, hey, man, Bitcoin's doing well. And I went and I was like, holy shit, it was a great investment. I had no idea what I was doing.
December 5th, it was at 19,000. Now it's at 32.5. So I'm guessing in October, it's probably like between 10 and 15,000.
That wasn't, it went up, it like doubled or almost doubled by the time I got the deposit, which was still low on where it was. But my money almost doubled, just should have doubled before I cashed it out. It would have, as you said, tripled then, I guess, or been around there at that time.
Yeah, somebody said Penn went from $4 in March to 95.
Amazing. Unbelievable.
Yeah. My dad bought Penn at $4.50, sold it at 13.
I would have too. I'm the same way as your dad, man.
Dad, I said, I work for a company. I said, they're going to, maybe I shouldn't say this on camera, but I told him, I was like, it's going to do well. Like, why the fuck did you sell it?
I'm just like your dad, man. Just I got money in my pocket almost made 3 times. Get me out. Yep.
Oh, he's the worst with Bitcoin too. He has tons of Bitcoin. He's like selling it. It's like, he said, well, what if it goes back down? I said, yeah, but it's running right now. Like, let it fucking play out.
Yep. I'm the same way as your dad, man.
Thoughts on Bucks Washington? Yeah, we kind of talked about that. I lean Washington at 8.5. I think
Washington's so bad. They're so bad on offense, but that
defense is good.
Exactly. The dink and dunk, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. You frustrate Tom Brady a little bit, and there you go.
Yeah. Death by 1,000 paper cuts.
That's it. That's me.
By the way, do you think Indy's a possible landing spot for CW?
I think that's where he's. I think it's already a done deal. Like, you telling me that agent didn't call them up and it's the perfect storm? Let me get back to my coach who loves me, and Phillip Rivers probably won't be back next year. Perfect.
I want to say this: the guy I get info from. This is the guy that gave me the Trevor Lawrence info. This guy's on point. He told me that the Colts aren't high on him. Frank Reich is not real sure at this point about him. I think New England could be in the market.
Sure. He would fit New England.
Jets, something like that. The Jets could just take a quarterback. They have the second pick, so.
Yeah, New England would be a perfect spot for him.
And he'll go there and win a Super Bowl. Watch. He's way better than Cam Newton.
Oh, my God. No, if you get him a solid offensive, which Josh McDaniels is, one of the better offensive. The one thing you can't say about New England is their offensive line stinks. It was really good this year. They'll get guys. They have money for free agency. They'll get a weapon or two around them. And he's got, 19 running backs to deal with? They'll be just fine in New England.
Hey, listen, if you're in the state of Georgia, go vote tomorrow. You're going to be a decider of this country going forward. To go make your voice heard, Donnie. We can't vote. But you can.
Georgia? Yeah.
By the way, McDonald's has 3 new chicken sandwiches to compete in chicken wars. Donnie, I don't eat fast food. You do.
I do. Yeah.
Are you going to try either the crispy chicken sandwich, the spicy chicken sandwich? Sounds like sandwiches they've already had.
Yeah, but you know what the interesting about McDonald's is? Like, they can have all those highfalutin chicken sandwiches, which when you want a chicken sandwich, you go to Chick-fil-A or you go to Popeyes.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody ever and I eat fast food at every restaurant. Like Wendy's chicken sandwich, it's okay, it's not bad. Or Burger King, not bad. Always the worst, even though it's probably the better quality almost. I make the outside of Chick-fil-A, like McDonald's, but nobody ever goes there and is like, I got to get the chicken sandwich at McDonald's. No, you don't even think about it.
If I were homeless and someone came up to me and said, "Listen, sir, you look hungry. Let's go get some dinner." Mm-hmm. And they said, "You got to go to McDonald's and
get a chicken
I would say, "Thanks, but no thanks. I'm not interested."
Yep. You just said,
That food makes me fucking. I mean, just the smell of it. I go to a grocery store that has McDonald's next to it. It fucking makes me sick during the day. I just, it's brutal. But yeah, didn't you like sit in line for a chicken sandwich or something?
No, I mean, we did a show where I went out like before and got the chicken sandwich and like ate it on the show.
Now, did you ever have I saw there's a guy on YouTube that like reviews fast food.
Yeah.
He ate I think it was Popeyes had it. It was a chicken sandwich between glazed donuts.
Yeah, see, I'm not that.
You wouldn't eat that?
No, come on. Like, what's the point?
You actually like him. Like you don't.
What's that? I would like the guy, or I would like.
No, you actually like you actually like chicken sandwich. You don't. You wouldn't.
I do.
Try.
No, the same thing where they have that like a burger with the two, donut bun. Like I don't even understand the point. Like I don't want to eat. It's not about eating sweet at that point for me.
There's certain things you don't mix together.
Yeah.
Sweet and like salty like food, I'm just not into.
Like, a lot of people like that stuff. Like they'll get like the chicken and waffles. Like I don't want that.
No.
I don't want that. I just want either the chicken or the waffles. I don't want both at the same time.
Waffles you eat at breakfast with syrup, and chicken you eat with like, other.
But people will tell you they love chicken and waffles, and I don't. I love chicken, Jeff, and I love waffles, but I don't want chicken and waffles.
I'll tell you this: somebody's mentioned Krispy Kreme.
Mm-hmm.
That could be the most overrated brand on earth. Like, I'm not kidding. Those donuts are disgusting.
By the way, like when you talk about like that business model that they had Krispy Kreme, like I don't know if you're too young to remember, they came in like a house of cards and was like opening up like 7-Eleven style all over the place. And once people realized like, all right, it's good and they don't need to have it all the time. And then that whole fit craze came in where you cut carbs and stuff like that, collapsed on itself.
Yeah.
Like,
now
I don't even have one. I don't even know where to find a Krispy Kreme around me.
Well, let me tell you why I bring that up. Last time I was at Barstool when it was I think right before the pandemic, it was March. Yeah. I was hustling to get in a train to go home, and I was in Penn Station, and I see a Krispy Kreme, and I'm like, I've never had one of these. Let me eat one. This was before I started working out. Donnie, I'm not kidding. The entire way home, it was agony. My teeth hurt so bad. I could feel
the sweet.
I could feel the sugar just rotting. And a few weeks later, I went to the dentist and I had a cavity. I said, those fucking crispy, like the donut, like are so sweet and it's like brute, like it's terrible.
People love them, man. But again,
I see people there like just eating
them anywhere.
Yeah, it's like,
let me get a dozen.
I'm good. No pineapple on pizza. I couldn't agree more. I don't know these sick people that do that. I don't get it. I would rather have Dunkin Donuts. Yeah, I don't. Like I said, I don't eat those much anymore. But Dunkin Donuts is actually pretty good.
No, back in the day, before Dunkin Donuts, like again, like this predates a lot of people, but Dunkin Donuts, Chef, they made their own donuts in that store and served them fresh before they said, we make way more money by trucking them in from our centralized stations. Dunkin Donuts were unbelievable because the old commercials where it's time to make the donuts where the dude with the mustache would wake up like 4 a.m., make them. That's when they were banging. But now,
By the way, speaking of food, Donnie.
Yeah.
I get it. When I was in Philly, I think the last time we did the gambling house, I was in Philly, and I was about to go home, and I go down. I don't know if you know this road, but I went down like by Penrose Avenue, down by the Platte Bridge.
Yep, sure.
Down. Do you know where like Penrose Diner is?
Yes, I know exactly where Penrose.
You're going down Penrose, like Penrose on your left. You go down, and there's like some developments back there now. There's a little strip mall right on Penrose.
Yeah.
There's this new cheesesteak spot, Penrose Cheesesteak.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm not going to lie. Their steaks are fucking good, man.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I went in there. I'm like, holy shit. Like, this place looks like you'd see it in, like where I live now, like out here somewhere, like this goofy, like, fake cheesesteak spot. Dude, the fucking steaks are good.
Yeah. That's what people don't understand, how good a eating city Philadelphia is, specifically like quick eating food like that, pizza, cheesesteaks, sandwiches, pork. Oh, what a
I
great
feel
city.
bad for people that live in like Iowa or like
they don't. Remember we used to joke about like I still don't understand. Like I don't know how Papa John's and Domino's operates, from our area up to New York City.
I don't either.
Triangle, because I can't imagine a more vile pizza. But again, I guess if it's like a kid, just want to feed them real quick. I don't want to spend a lot of money or waste some time. You just get them Domino's. But I always think it's like a Ponzi scheme. Like if once you had like I'm not even talking about great pizza, Jeff, a decent neighborhood pizza, you can't ever go back to eating like Domino's. I don't understand.
To this day, I don't get that. Like I get if you live in like
Iowa,
Nebraska or something, like
there you go.
Fine. Like even those places have like someone out there that's like in the witness protection program and they open a pizza.
Yeah, where they moved out there and said, "Hey, there's no good pizza shops. I'm going to open up a decent pizza shop or whatever." Yeah,
yeah, but like where I live or like where you live, and you're eating fucking Little Caesars or something. It's like
no, I don't get it. I'll never understand. How about I was so hungry? It was me and Ian, and we're out in Vegas, right? So we got that little corner joint.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh, dude, this pizza's out here, whatever. And I was like I ate it because it's edible, but that's not like
the first night, right?
Yes, yeah. We went out on.
Holy shit! Do you remember that day?
Of course, I remember that day.
We got there. We were so jet lagged.
Yep.
I wake up the next morning. I have to speak at like that.
You missed it. No, you didn't miss. No, you didn't. You weren't speaking that day. But I got down there. And I was like,
no, I was speaking that day. Saturday.
2 hours late. Was it?
Yeah, dude. I was supposed to be there at 9:30. I look at the clock. It's 9:36. I'm like, holy shit! I'm 3 hours behind. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were the days. Someone says Drake's a wagon ATS. Yeah, 11-0 against the number, Drake. They are
good for them.
They are on fire. Drake's coffee cakes.
By the way, what do you think about Indianapolis hosting the entire tournament?
I'm good with it. I like the idea.
I like it.
I think
it'd be cool. Like, should that be a thing now? Like, imagine, like, how we get excited, like, oh, I'm going to go to the Super Bowl. Wouldn't you love to go to that? Holy cow!
I'll say this again: when we're able to go back to regular life, I highly recommend if you're out there, go to the Final Four. It's fucking awesome. Like, it is such a cool thing because they give the games on Saturday. You have like a little off day on Sunday, then Monday night's the game, and it's like, boom, it's sweet.
Yeah.
What will happen if a team gets coronavirus in the Sweet 16? We don't know. Let's not worry about that, please. Let's hope by then we don't have to worry. I'm seeing, Donnie, this vaccine now that they're starting to get more. Like they did, like over the last 72 hours, they've done like 2 million people. Yeah, it's going to start rolling. So, are you going to get it?
It better start rolling soon. I don't know if I'm going to. I know I live with my mother-in-law, but she's definitely going to get it. I don't know. I've never gotten a flu shot before. But
I want to get it just to like,
so I don't have to worry anymore. I guess.
Yeah, that's
the side effect. The one thing I was really disheartened to see was that report that came out of California. Like they have so many doses, but like 30% of the frontline workers declined it. I'm saying, come on, man.
I don't believe that. I mean, why would you decline it? I don't understand.
There's a lot of people out there that don't want to.
Explain to me why you would decline it.
Because the people
they're not going to fucking poison you. They're trying to
poison you. Government microchip, this and that, right?
It's like, come on, man. But no, I saw, Donnie, today that Moderna are trying to speed up rollout by basically they're going to offer it to anyone. So
that's what it should be.
If you're 18 or older, like you're in.
Like, because I think they're actually doing it wrong. Like it should actually be first come, first serve, because we already know. The 18 to 25s, the 30, 35, they're not going to go get it at first anyway because they don't think it can harm them anyway. So why are we waiting? Like, I feel like we're struggling a couple weeks behind. Like, the people that want to get it should be able to get it. I don't think there's going to be a run on it because when I see like, we're trying to get it to this people, like just sign up, pick a date out, whether it's 2 or 3 weeks down the road and go get it. And what about the pro leagues, Jeff? We're not going to steal anybody's place in line. I think if you took a vote right now, we would all vote yes. Pro athletes, get it before everybody. You know what I mean? Come on.
I think we should consider athletes as like front, like
correct. They are the only things keeping me sane right now and in business. Same as you.
I agree. I don't have an issue with that.
Yeah.
By the way, why hasn't Trump gotten the vaccine? Does anyone know? Why isn't
What's that?
Why did
he already? But see, that's the thing. If you already got COVID, do you take the vaccine?
I think you do. Yeah, because you only have. I think you only have.
Yeah, I agree. Like, because when you took a look, Kevin Durant had COVID, and they're saying like he's got to get quarantined now. And I'm saying like, well, I don't understand.
I think it's like a 6-month thing where like you have. Yeah, I was wondering why he didn't get it. Like he's been touting that it's worked and like they created it. So like, why didn't you get it? I feel like that would help a lot if he got Someone says there's a higher chance of side effects than being affected by the virus for certain population. Like what?
I mean, it's always going to have something. I mean, somebody like, because I see the one where they get the Bell's palsy for a couple days.
Like I hate to tell you guys, but like every vaccine gives you a sore arm. Like,
do we watch TV enough, Jeff, where they say like, "Hey, man, yo, my arthritis is killing me." They go, "Look, take this pill, but diarrhea, fever, you might lose eyesight." Yeah, come on.
Like I continue to say this, Donnie, and I'm going to tell you this: if you're still one of these people that like you don't want to follow the rules, I know CNN sucks. Like I know people don't like CNN. CNN's lame, but there's one thing they do that's sad and it's fucked up. They do like at the end of all their shows, they give you like one person that died from this shit.
Yeah.
And today they did one on this girl. She was 34. She was a teacher. She was just a tremendous woman, and she died like 3 days after she got it. It's like she was healthy, like she was young. It's like, how do you know you're not going to be the one person that just has a fucking adverse issue with it and you die?
Yeah.
You know, like, do you really want to be that fuck? You know, that's breathing on a fucking tube or something. You know,
Oh, and it's a 5-second shot, man. Blip, blop, done.
Yeah,
a nice thing.
Yeah, it's like, why not just do it? And I'm gonna tell you soon, like you're gonna have to take it to do things.
Yeah.
Like certain things you're not going to be able to do without a virus passport or a vaccine passport. I'm telling you. Wait till they start doing, hey, you can't go to the Eagles game this week if you don't have it.
Yeah. Where's your card at? Yep. Where's your scanner? Yeah.
How many people are going to start taking it then? Yep. Or you're just in a database. It's always like, I don't want them tracking me. You have 6 votes in your pocket. You're worried about getting tracked.
In a car. Yeah.
DeMarcus Cousins just got ejected. That's not surprising.
I don't know about that. Yeah.
Chargers have a significant interest in Jason Garrett, according to reports.
For what reason?
Is that true?
What, after his big offensive performances this year on that Giants team?
On a 6-win team.
Jesus. Love that. Like, they should bring him back to the Cowboys.
Mike McCarthy's rough, dude. Holy shit, man.
Yeah, he's pretty bad.
Knicks up 4 at the half. Or no, they're down 4. So Hawks up 4. Good news. That's good news. Knicks usually collapse in the second half. We'll hope for that to happen.
Sixers are on that, aren't they? They start yet? Are they on?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. They did start. It's I think they're up 10 or 15.
Your boy Ball's in town.
Yeah, they played them last week. A couple years back, Bill Gates said the world is overpopulated. It probably is.
It is.
And I got to be honest, I'd probably trust Bill Gates' opinion on things. I know a lot of people don't want to, but I feel like he probably knows what he's talking about. So like, I guess I'm curious, like, is school going on right now?
No. And it's
nowhere.
It's the biggest shame of it. Like my daughter, like they're on like a Zoom, they get nothing. And I can't imagine just being stunted because like my wife's like, do you know it's going to be basically 2 years before they go back to school at like the formidable age? Like they're not learning anything.
Why not next year? Like this?
Well, like you're already talking about, they've been down since a year already. Like at this point, basically. So now you're just going to roll.
So do
when are they going back?
So if you're in 3rd grade, do you just go to 4th grade?
Yeah, they just move it up. And put it this way, Jeff, nobody's going to fail either. So there's, like at least if you're in school and you're going hey, look, the kid's not doing his homework. He's got to be left back. Not a single person is going to fail, which I always joke, like if I was in college now, as long as you're writing the check to the college, are you telling me that they're going to fail a kid?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like they just want the money anyway. Hey, hand your paper in. Oh, this paper sucks. So what? It's pandemic. They're probably struggling. Pass. Like you get a free 2 years in college, which again, college people is, well, you're not learning anything. Trust me. I went to college. It's all about hand your papers in, wake up and go to class. I didn't learn anything that would stay with me the rest of my life except meeting deadlines. That's it. That's all college is. You paid for a piece of paper.
The thing about like middle school and elementary school and that kind of stuff, there's like 1 or 2 years where it's pretty important.
Yes.
But the school system's fucking terrible. It's like if I ever
feel bad for high school kids. I really feel bad. Like those kids that are like, juniors and seniors that are playing basketball, football, baseball, hanging out, meeting girls, grow. Because that's basically what college and high school is like. Social
seniors last year.
You didn't get to enjoy anything, man. Nothing.
That's the 1 year you're a fucking senior. That's brutal.
Yep. You wait your whole life to be a senior, and you don't even get to be it, and all of a sudden you're out and about.
Thank you, Junior, man. I appreciate that. That's nice of you.
Junior
says, OGs of the betting world. Work in life has been hard, but like to catch you guys live. Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Raiders fan, Junior.
Yeah, it's nice to see Donnie, man. Him and I don't do content much anymore, but it's nice to see him occasionally. The schools will extend the year and remove summer break. They did it for me, missed 3 months. Yeah, that's a good point. Do they do that maybe?
I don't know. No, the teachers' unions are too powerful. They don't want to go back to work.
Yeah, they don't want. They need that 3 months off, even though they've.
Yeah, like maybe we'll do it some other time. Like even they were supposed. My kid was supposed to go back. They started this school year by going to only 2 days in school, and they quickly did away with that. They were supposed to go back, I believe, like January 14th, but they pushed it back like another 3 weeks. It's amazing. And it's the funny thing about it. It's the same, like, we can't, everybody else can work, but the teachers can't work like in person for some reason, even with spacing and social distancing and all that stuff. But we always get a kick out of, when you talk about like who needs to go in or who needs to do what. It's just like who controls it. You know what I mean? Like who's controlling this stuff. And like every state's different. So it's like one state, it's like everyone can get the vaccine. The other state, we're giving it to only old people. Like what? And also, like, what do you do with like kids? Like we're lucky. Like my wife is in finance; she can work from home. I have a job; I can work from home. What do you do if you were like that 9 to 5, where your kid's a 13-year-old? You quit your job because you have to stay home. Like what happens? And then to make it even more laughable, we're gonna argue and complain and give you $600. Yeah, here's the 600 so you can stay home and. It's like, I've been off 6 months. What's that gonna do? I don't know. What's that gonna do? Like, or you said, like, the athletes, right? Because we've always been banging these people. Oh, it's the worst. I'm gonna opt out this year. I want my family safe. And I say, okay, if you stay, if I have like a camera on you and you stay in your basement and don't go near your family for 8 months, I'd be like, that guy really loves his family, was true to his word. But if you're not going to a restaurant, you're not going to the food store, you're not celebrating Christmas, no holidays, no visitation, no anything, I'll respect it. But I guarantee you they're walking around not getting tested. But that's safer than being tested every day and making money. That's why I had to I forget who it was. I think it might have been plays for the Braves. I wonder if he opted out and then he said, you know what? I'm coming back. Like, I don't need who was it? I know what you're talking about. Yeah. No. Older player. Markakis or maybe somebody like that. Yeah, Nick Markakis. That might have been. Yeah. But yeah, it's I get you got to protect people, but it's like, and then you look at like I told you before, like I have friends girls and stuff that I know. Like I know a girl now, she's in Atlanta right now. Like she was sending me videos like for like 3 straight nights. She's at a club, like it's packed. Like, yep. Like, do these people realize, like, hey, maybe you shouldn't party for a couple of months? They don't, but we're COVIDed out. Like it's been like a year. Like we had the chance. We had the country's captivative attention, and they said, you know what? Let's shut it down. Let's get it right and open back up. And and I don't understand this whole thing. Like, well, we're just wear a mask. I haven't gone anywhere in public without a mask. And I don't think anyone else does either. That's what I'm saying. But the narrative is like, I guess I'm the only one doing it, but when I go to the food store, every single person has a mask. If I pick up pizza, everybody has a mask. Wherever I go, where I'm around people in a building, they have a mask. But this narrative is like, you people don't get it. You're not wearing your mask. I don't understand that. Who's not doing that? No, and then it's like there's a new strain. Oh, here we go. Yeah. And listen, so it's funny too, because like the 3 people that got it, it's like they've had no sign of travel outside the United States, and they mostly stay home. How the fuck did they get it then? Did they airmail it to them? Did they get it through the internet? Yeah, and now I heard that there's a South African strain, Donnie. Oh, Jesus. That might not be protected by the vaccine. Yeah, if that's the case, the new thing. Like, I'm going out. I don't care. I'll take my mask off and just deal with it then. Yeah, right. Like my wife was saying, it's never going to end. Like you would have figured it would take like a couple months and it'd finally wean itself out, and it's back full force. So I say to myself, like, what is actually going to change from now for a couple months? Like, because the vaccine runs out after 120 days, and then or whatever it is. Like, are we going to stop society because a few hundred people a day test for it in the country? Are we just going to keep shutting it down?
like the worst part of the people that like generally act like they were shot in the head and like they had to go through months of rehab. And then you have people that are actually like having problems with it. And like they like I still remember that fucking Brooke Baldwin from CNN. Like she literally acted like her left arm was cut off.
What was her comment was, the only thing that could save me was 2 Tylenol and a warm bath.
It's like, yeah, you sound like you have the flu, Brooke.
Sound like most people that work construction, electrical, or have to be on their feet all day at the grocery store probably need a hot bath and 2 Tylenol at the end of the night.
Oh, so I got to read this. I have it. It's titled, How Fighting Coronavirus Taught Me About the Gift of Connection. All right, here we go. It took a full 2-week beating on my body. I went to some very dark places, especially at night. Evenings would bring on an eerie melancholy, which was particularly odd for me. A glass half full, chemically blessed kind of gal. But under the influence of coronavirus, as each day came to a close, I could often cry, unable to stave off the sense of dread and isolation I felt about what was to come. Keep in mind, guys, this is not someone that's been in solitary confinement for the last 5 years and has had not one piece of human contact. This is a disgraceful person that is having to stay home and has a cough and cold. And
in a penthouse in New York.
In a penthouse in New York. Listen. I was fighting constant body aches. In the evening, I started a habit of climbing into the bathtub for 45 to 60 minutes. Just to try to use the hot water to distract my skin from the all-encompassing ache that would begin in my lower extremities. The kind of ache that you only get without 2 extra-strength Tylenols that would eventually dull it. A little bit more. Looking back, my sense of time feels warped and inexact. Some days crawl by tortuously slow, while others disappeared, accounted for in my memory, lost in the wash of emotion, sleep, and illness.
Like you would read that and be like, just like, I would never want to get that. And that's like, hey, it sounds like when I got the flu one time for a couple of days. That's what I felt like.
She literally acts like she was cut off from the world in solitary confinement for years on end. And the only human touch she had was, or like animal touch she had was like a rat that like climbed up on her. Like that's
my husband would bring me food.
It's like, holy shit, man. Like, she actually wrote that. It's like, holy.
And they loved it too. Like, you got to write an expose on this, how it was. Or when Chris Cuomo came up from his, they brought the film crew out, like, I'm coming out of my quarantine in the basement.
Boy,
like,
this feels good.
Yeah, you've been biking for weeks outside, no mask, and like, come on. That's why nobody believes. That's why it sets everybody back so far, because you read stuff and you watch stuff like, well, why do the rich people don't have to do anything? It's like the governor's like, you guys aren't going anywhere. Like, dude, you just took a jet down to Florida to go on the beach with your family. Don't you bring my family into this.
It's funny too, because like, remember when he went to like the Hamptons and that like biker like caught him?
Yes.
The biker like went up to him and goes like,
yo,
hey, maybe you shouldn't be outside. And he goes like, get the fuck out of my business or something.
It's amazing. Like, hey, don't. And even I saw the best one was De Blasio put out the tweet at midnight or like 12:30 in the morning, like Happy New Year to like the greatest city on earth, and it's him and his wife dancing in an empty Times Square, and people are like, what? We couldn't go enjoy this, but yet you and your wife went by yourself in a lockdown and you enjoyed Times Square. It's like this isn't right. Like you should. The last place you should be is anywhere.
Reality, like he doesn't. Like, and that was like so funny. Did you hear what Andy Cohen said about it?
No,
Like, so he was like dancing, like right as the ball dropped, and like they come back, like him and Anderson Cooper, and Anderson like took a shot, and he was like gagging, and Andy Cohen goes, "That's exactly how I felt seeing Mayor de Blasio dancing during the ball drop," and basically just like shredded him. It was fucking hilarious.
Like, can you imagine that? Like, instead of like, you should be sending your PR team have you at home, like having a responsible, socially distanced, home event. Hope everybody's enjoying New Year's, but no, we're going to go out here and take a picture that shows, look, we're enjoying this all by ourselves in our own little wonderland. Congratulations, you guys are locked in your own house and don't come out.
By the next morning, wham, I couldn't taste the salted butter in my toast, and I couldn't catch a whiff of the peppermint in my tea. Along with my appetite,
peppermint tea. There you go.
My energy was also zapped. I easily slept 10 hours a night. Waking
I always
many
wondered if
points.
I have it already. Do you think you had? I thought you said you thought you
I
had it
did.
one time.
This was in like February. There was
Yeah.
about a 4 or 5 night stretch where I was so tired.
Last February? Wow.
Yeah, I was so tired.
You were patient zero out there. Good for you.
Yeah, I was so tired. I was sweaty, and then just randomly, like the one day I started feeling really good, and then a day or two later I was fine.
Yeah,
but I don't ever remember, and like I'm not trivializing the symptoms.
Yeah.
They're terrible. I think like how she acts like.
Yeah.
It's like she acts literally like she's her arms cut off.
But that's for mass consumption as well, written like that. Like, now, shouldn't you have another person at CNN go, hey, I got it, felt fantastic, worked out, stayed away from everybody, stayed at home for quarantine. I had no symptoms, but the ones they want are write a really dramatic thing of how serious this is, even if it's not serious. So,
I mean, you got to see this picture. I mean, look at this. I mean, so that wasn't staged.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Like, seriously.
Horrible day.
Like, look at these pictures. Like, look at that bathroom. It's like, wow, it looks like a really nice fucking bathroom. Yep. It's like she throws the dog in the picture.
The dog, and look at the nice covers.
Like, hey, I have silk sheets.
Yep.
It's like, all right, Brooke. Like, come on, man.
Brooke's having a tough day out there.
I mean, and again, like, I don't want the symptoms. Like, no one does. But it's like,
no. I don't want to give it to anybody. I don't want to get it.
Yeah. And I wear a mask.
Yeah, we're all the same.
What is up with that jersey, dude?
You love that, don't you? That's
why do you have a fucking Ben DiNucci jersey?
Because I lost. I remember it was the Cowboys game. Team total was, I believe, I want to say 14 and a half in that game. So I was reading, open the week, said the Eagles defense is horrendous. Like, anybody's going to be able to score. So they get up early and they had 9 points at the half. I'm like, I got this. But even like before the game started, I was like, I want to see how this kid plays. If he's just a competent quarterback, like you saw the kid Wofford over the weekend, it wasn't great, but he looked like he belonged in the NFL. The very first pass of the game that DiNucci threw, there was no pass rush, and he like backed up 3 steps and threw off his back foot. And like at that moment, I was like, this is going to be one of the most amazing games I've ever watched. It was so excruciating painfully, because it wasn't like a 22 or 24 team total. It was like 13 and a half or 14. And even though they got to, I think.
Oh, yeah, he was incredibly bad, right?
Yeah, he was so bad. And I said during the game, like I was tweeting, I was like, I'm going to buy this guy's jersey, whether it wins or losses, because I always want to look on my wall. And it's a great, like you're an Eagles fan. Why do you have Ben DiNucci? And I always bring it up saying it was the single worst performance I've ever seen from an athlete. And I went right on NFL.com, and they actually had his jersey. I'm like, I'm getting it and putting it on my wall.
The Luke Falk performance, I think it was last year.
Yeah, there's been some bad ones, but this one was like out of something. And the best part about it was he wasn't supposed to really play this year at all. He's just supposed to be a practice squatter, and they get injured. Dak Prescott breaks his leg, and they get caught up. And with COVID, you can't just sign like a vet off the street on Monday at that time. He had to clear protocols and couldn't play. So DiNucci was the only one in. So he goes in and plays so bad. And then all of a sudden on that Monday, like the day after the game, Jerry Jones is like, look, this kid is not an NFL player, and we had to play him. I'm like, I got to get this guy's jersey, because you're never going to see him in the NFL again. He is going to have that one night of infamy in a primetime game, and was horrendous. I was like, I got to commemorate this. And it's a great talking piece.
Sudfeld was fucking terrible.
I should have ended up buying that guy's jersey just because of how great it was. How about today, Jeff? The news comes out like, Howie Roseman changes the practice squad up like 16 times a day, and every one of those lackey beat reporters has to tweet it. When T.Y. McGill got signed to a 1-year deal, when he's the guy that went off sides like a foot, and I was like, this is so great, man. I think they told him to do that too, because it was so outrageous how far he went off.
Yeah, that was it looked like he jumped.
They can't look those guys in the eyes. How do you think they feel? Like Jason Kelce's never, and then somebody's actually.
He's going to retire.
One guy on Twitter was like saying, like, well, Jason Kelce, yeah, he's the guy that snapped the ball on the ground with Sudfeld couldn't get to. I was just going to laugh at that shit too.
Yeah, like Jason Kelce's going to retire. So
he was talking about it for a couple of years. Got a ton of freaking money. Love the guy. But same thing like Zach Ertz. Like, oh, man, Zach Ertz, Eagles don't deserve him. And I say like this with confidence. Howie Roseman is not a great GM, but what a wonderful move when Zach Ertz wanted to be paid like Travis Kelce this year and also George Kittle. He said, no, I don't think you're worth that. And he was a disaster this year. The only thing, because normally Howie Roseman would say, here's 4 years, $75 million, $35 million guaranteed, like your George Kittle. You ever watch George Kittle and Travis Kelce play? They catch a ball, Darren Waller, and then you see Zach Ertz catch it and fall down. Come on, stop it.
I've said that for a while. I hated him.
He's been like that for a while. He served his purpose in that offense where he was always open. He'd always make the catch, but they don't stay young. Like Jason Witten, did he even have a catch this year for the Raiders? What's the point in that? They can't always be great.
Give Goddard to play now.
Move on.
All right, Donnie, let's wrap it up. Knicks are getting beat up. Hawks are pulling away. Coppin's going to have a big second half for us to go 2-0 here, but might just split. Either way, always good to jump on, for an hour or so, just chat it up, see what's going on. Yep. Donnie, hope to see you soon, man. It sucks this year not being able to hang and stuff, but
hopefully it's going to come to an end soon. College basketball picking up steam, so hopefully they can get through it.
Place here and that sort of thing. All right, as always, follow me on Twitter at Jeff Nadu, JFFNADU. We'll have to get you on the pod soon, Donnie. Once you start getting into some things.
Yeah, no, it'll be soon. Man. I'll be caught up.
Sounds good. All right, brother. We'll see you another time. Thanks for checking it out. We'll see how we do. Maybe we get a big second half from Coppin, and the Hawks keep playing well. It looks like they're starting to pull away. Let's hope that continues. I am the big man on campus. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at Jeff Nadu, Nadu. Make sure you listen to Big Man on Basketball. If you haven't, you find it every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9:00 a.m., presented by Barstool Sports. Have a great night. See you next time.